I thought I was.
There you go.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Wealth and Health channel. And today we're going to be talking about how to beat inflation using gold and silver. We have Stephen Nash with the Grow Wealth Club and Derek Staples with the Grow Wealth Club. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Great. Awesome.
Yeah, doing awesome. Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
So we got a pretty hot topic today. We want to try to get through that, but that's a good one. How to beat inflation using gold and silver. How do we do that?
Well, there's several different strategies to it, and I think one of them is found in one strategy that I really like is found in these guys here, these collectible, these MS70.
I can't see that very good. Let me see. Can you?
Yeah, these MS70s.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And PF70s. These are really independent of the bullion market, which is pretty cool. Like the bullion market doesn't control that because it's a formula that those modern collectibles actually fit, and it's the rarity of them. It's historic significance. It's on the Sheldon grading scale, but it's a preference, and you're talking about being able to, one, beat inflation, but also it's not controlled by the bullion market. So I like that option.
So Steve, for those of us out here who don't really know what bullion means, what is bullion?
Yeah. So bullion is like, well, some people consider it investment grade assets, but bullion is just non-collectible gold and silver. So like bars and also rounds like these guys here, and then bars, like these guys. So this is basically bullion. So in other words, it's a defensive strategy. So it's just like you're talking about wealth preservation or being conservative inside your diversified portfolio or your retirement portfolio. So if you want to preserve your wealth, you're probably going to want to load up on bullion or a defensive strategy. If you want to grow that portfolio and beat inflation and create that income aspect from gold and silver, it's just definitely found in collectibles.
So really, like if I was looking at combating inflation, I'm looking at gold and silver as an option, I'm basically looking at both a defensive and offensive option. So my defensive is buy bullion, which is like the silver eagles or gold eagles, or the bars, which is more like something that's not going to necessarily grow in value as quickly. Or I have the offensive strategy, which is the collectibles, which is like your collectible coins, which is things like what my grandfather used to do, right? He collected silver dollars and things like that. And it kind of died with my dad and with my generation, right? We're not really used to collectibles. I've been to a coin show, and it's all older people there. You don't really see a whole lot of young generations because they've kind of moved away from that. So why do you think that like collectibles aren't as popular now, right? Because it's people collect baseball cards, they collect fine art.
Yeah.
So why don't we see as many people like getting in and doing the collectible coin side of things?
That's a great question. I think mainly it comes from just being misinformed, understanding why, or even also the collectible market hasn't been really modernized. Now it's more modern, it's more hip. It even looks like artwork with all the different dye colors they use and the story they tell. So I think up until this point, no one took really a lot of interest in it because it's just like, okay, great. It just looks like a old coin. It doesn't have any type of colors to it. It doesn't have any design. So when you look at some of the the designs that are now coming out that are available on the first-hand market, you're talking about just really, really cool designs, you know, kind of like when you look at, for instance, like this Black Panther coin here. This Black Panther coin is really cool. You know, it's a cool design,
Yeah.
Move that closer to your,
Yeah. And it's
yeah,
cool
that's
that
pretty
it's in
cool.
a case because like when I
Yeah,
went to a coin show, everything was just free, like just open. You just saw pennies or quarters or
right,
things
right.
like that. So how do you know what you're getting, you know?
So that's a great question, because then this little case here is considered sonic sealed. So that means it hasn't been touched by human hands. Also, only 5% of coins even qualify to be in a case like this. That means it's on the Sheldon grading scale. And so anything on the Sheldon grading scale, that means only 5% of coins actually strike as perfect out of all coins minted every single month. Only 5% are considered perfect. So that's another significant thing, is that all these designs, all these different artwork, it's almost like now it's like it's artwork, but
Yeah.
inside of collectible gold and silver. And it, you know, with it being sonic sealed, it hasn't been touched by human hands. And you're talking about on a Sheldon grading scale. Well, only 5% of coins actually strike as perfect coins.
Mhm.
And when you get one, which all of the coins we have access to, they're MS70s or they're PF70s. Most coin dealers or collectors, they're getting like anywhere from like MS68s or MS67s, but they're not getting that perfect like cream of the crop. So
Mhm.
when you get that perfect cream of the crop, that's like you're getting a like that's like a baseball card, which is like 1 of 1 or 1 of 2 or 1 of 10, and it's like perfect condition, no blimps or anything. So
So what
that's
would that be like the equivalent of? So that we're saying like if I got a baseball card or a basketball card and it's in perfect condition, it's in a case, it's got um no damage to the card, the corners are pristine. So we're talking about like that's the equivalent if you're collecting a baseball card or a basketball card when it comes to coins. It's like the better the condition it is, the higher the value, correct?
higher the value, yeah. And with coins too, there's another piece too. It's the front of the coin, which is the obverse, and then there's the back of the coin, which is the reverse. Those actually give it a significant value, because a lot of times, is it 3D? Does it have a 3D print? Does it look like it's like kind of coming out at you?
Mhm.
How detailed is it? How much is it raised off the coin? Which is a very tedious process to do that. So now you're talking about all that added value is also into the coin too, based on the obverse and the reverse. Also, if you compare it to, like you said, a perfect baseball card, also you can. So a lot of times people compare it to like a diamond. You know, you got
Mhm.
different grades of diamond. Like you got a SS1 or a VS1, then you got the VS and the VVS. So it's the same thing, except now in gold and silver, those are the gradings when it comes to modern collectibles.
Who sets the pricing for the collectibles?
The market sets the price as far as the collectors.
Mm.
Uh, the collectors in the market, and then the grading sets the price. So you got, like, for instance, NGC, which is, you know, one of the top grading services, and also PCGS. They're the top grading services. So when they grade something, it sets that price. No matter what people outside of the collectible market may think, it doesn't matter really what they think. It's all based on, you know, the collector's market, and then also the grading.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah,
Hmm.
very cool stuff. And that's why, you know, when people are understanding the collectible market, it just really, it's an exciting thing to know that I got a portfolio, or part of my portfolio, that's completely not controlled by what happens with Wall Street or with bad decisions made by politicians. It has
That's true.
it just has no control over that. You know, it's a completely separate market now. If you're talking about, you know, worst case scenario, end of the world, well, that's a whole different ball of wax that we have to deal with. And then also then we got the non-collectible, which is bullion. Now we have something for barter in
Mm.
worst case scenario. So yeah,
Yeah, you can actually use that like to buy something.
to buy something.
So when it comes to coins, like how do you know what you should collect and what you shouldn't? Like obviously it's not everything, right?
Yeah, yeah. I tell, I think a lot of times is people have to buy what they like. Buy what they like. I look at a scale, I look at low mintage, anything low mintage. And here's the thing, anything low mintage is under like 99,000 mintage. That's low mintage. But the cool thing is that I look for the extremely low mintage, like under 1,000, under 2,000, under 5,000 mintage, under 10,000 mintage. Those are great coins to grab. And then also sets. Sets are really popular. Like sets, people love sets. If it's like a 3-set series or a 4-set or a 5-set series, people love sets. Those are really good. Also like I said, the lower the mintage, the better. But then you buy what you like. I think you buy what you like. If it has some type of like significance as far as grandma or grandpa or my dad, my mom was born on this date or whatever it is, it's some historic significance, and it has some sentimental value. Um, that
Like,
could,
is there some type of like catalog or brochure or something that shows you so you know what you're looking for?
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
so you know, like, oh, there's a set of, whatever, these presidents or these ships or I don't know, something like that. And then would there be a place that you could go to that you could actually see certain things? So then that way like, hey, that's something I'm looking for. So when I do find it, I'm gonna get it. Like, how do you know that?
Yeah, no, that's great. That's awesome. Awesome question. Yes. So there's several different portals you can go to. We have a newsletter, a company that we're aligned with. We have a newsletter that goes out. Also, there's a site that we can go to, that we can put things on our watch list. There's some enhancements coming to, um, so our landing pages and our platforms and websites are going to be able to identify which sets you may like. You can put things on your watch list. Also, you can absolutely go through and look at some of the stories, like, oh, that's a cool story of that, and then of course historic significance, the story behind them. Definitely, there's a newsletter, and also there is like a, I would say, like a website with newsletters as well that people can go and take a look at. That's a good deal to identify what they actually like.
So like the wealthy, obviously, when they go to buy gold and silver, they're buying it in large amounts, like $10,000 or more. And
Mhm.
not everybody can do that. So how do we know like where we should be buying? Because there's eBay, there's pawn shops, there's things like that to pick some of this stuff up, coin shows, things like that. But how do you know how do you know who to trust, and how do you know like if you're buying a legitimate coin or something that's maybe not legitimate, or what does that look like? What do you generally look out for, or where do you usually go to purchase stuff?
No, that's great, great. So ever since I got really heavy into really understanding all aspects of gold and silver, um, I align myself with a great company. And that company, 7K Metals. I align with them. Reason why I did that is because of the education. Now, a lot of people say, well, I can get gold and silver anywhere. Yeah, you can, but it's the education behind gold and silver. It's like, what's the difference between the defense and the offensive strategy? So when you see that, and then they have technologies. We have technologies that have actually eliminated those questions, like online authenticated auction house. That's
Mhm.
awesome. It's actually it authenticates your gold and silver. There's actually a laser that shot through this plastic covering, and that laser will give a reading and it'll tell you exactly how pure that metal is. That's a part of that auction house, the authenticated auction house platform. Also, everything that's actually brought into the storehouse or the private vaults are all tested before anything anything is, anything is purchased or anything like that. So the platform has created that, has disrupted gold and silver in that sense, because it's never been an online auction or authenticated auction house. It's never been a private vaulting space that allows you to liquidate. It's never been that up until now. So understanding that, it has made it even more comfortable for me and all my friends and family to align with this, because it's the education, and then it's the experts. Like, for instance, a guy named Miles Standish. He was a vice president of the NGC. He left the NGC, okay, which is, NGC is one of the top, it's a top grading service on the planet, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, and he partnered up with us. So when you got those type of experts that are like, Miles Standish is one of the top 10 numicists on the planet. So when guys like that know what to look for, and one quick story about Miles is that he was saying about a guy named Larry H. Miller. He was the owner of the Utah Jazz, and of course he passed away a couple years back. But Miles was looking at some of his collections, and he realized he had graded some of his coins. He saw some of the coins that was familiar. He's like, wow, I graded some of those. But think about this, with Miles and his expertise, knowing what coins are great and what coins probably have the best potential to go up in value, that portfolio that Larry H. Miller actually the values that they actually gave his portfolio was over $25 million.
Wow.
Wow.
In a coin collection? For just coins?
Just coin. That was just one part of his portfolio. So when you think about what do the wealthy do, well, this is exactly what they do. And then the cool thing is that Miles now is a partner, so he's designing coins that are exclusive for us, or he's giving us all the rights to all the mintage of those coins. So we're talking about a guy that prestigious who understands what to look for, and we get full access to these. It's pretty cool. It's really, really cool.
So obviously he didn't pay $25 million for his coins. He had sets and they went up in value over time. So how does the coin collecting, how does that combat inflation? Like, how do those two go hand in hand?
Oh, that's great. So of course, like, he didn't buy it at 25 million, but you're talking about the return on a lot of these coins. Like, a lot of them shoot up in value like right away. Others, every coin is not going to perform, but when you're talking about overall average, if you're talking about being able to stack these, on a monthly basis, and then seeing the value of them go up, because again, some coins are going to outperform. Like this Black Panther coin here, I bought it for about $700, and within 30 minutes, that coin has doubled in value. I can turn around and sell that coin on the first-hand market for $1,400 because we got all the mintage. We got 100% of the mintage. And then there is some strategic partnerships that we actually handed these coins over to that weren't graded. So people were buying ungraded Black Panthers for double the price. Okay. But we got a fully graded Black Panther for half of the price. So now the market is seeing an ungraded Black Panther for double the price. So imagine now that coin probably can sell for close to $3,000. But that's the beauty of it.
And how long have you had that coin? How long have you?
For about a year, only a year. Yeah. And it's because, well, again, you see the coin, it was the obverse of the coin, and then it was the reverse of the coin. And then of course it's 5 ounces. So you got the obverse, okay, and then you got the reverse of it, the back of the coin, and then you're talking about the mintage of the coin. So when you see coins that fit this formula, chances of them going up is probably very high, extremely high. And you're talking about now, if you're collecting these, you're at a disciplined approach, you put them on autopilot. Yeah, every coin is not going to perform the same, but you give yourself the chance to collect a lot of these coins because collectively they definitely outperform inflation.
Well,
And
that's
it's been proven. It's been proven for the last 30, 40 years, 50 plus years, that these collectible gold and silver coins do outperform inflation. So
And so that coin, that Black Panther you have, is that taxable? Like your gain on your coin when you sell it?
not at all. No capital gains taxes on those. Which
Well,
another.
that's different. That's different than like real estate
Mhm.
or pretty much anything else you're doing. Is these coins, if they go up in value, there's no taxes that you have to pay on those gains. You
Right.
sell it.
Right. You keep all those gains. Yeah.
How do you
definitely.
know how many mintage there is? Is there somewhere that it's documented, or how would you know like how many
Yeah.
mintage? Does it say it on the case,
Yeah.
or is it located somewhere, the information?
Yeah, so each one comes with an authenticated card like this. You see here, each coin
You
will
might have to
come.
come a little closer with that. There you go.
Each
Right.
coin comes with.
You can't see it.
Can't see it, but
Right
it's
there.
there.
Right there.
Yeah, so
So
each
it tells
coin
you on the
comes-
card, so you get like an authentication card that tells you how many were minted. And I
Exactly.
would imagine the website tells you too. So like where you go
Website
to
does
look
tell
at
you
it.
too, right? Right.
So
This
it
one,
doesn't say it on the case. It's not on the case. Is that correct?
it's not on the case, but it's on the authenticated card here. So the card will tell you how much it is. Oh, there it is. The card will tell you. So this one was 888 mintage.
That's
So
low.
yeah, it's a very, very low mintage. That's under 1,000. So that's why this coin has so much value. And again, any coin under 10,000 is considered low mintage, but that's extremely low mintage,
Yeah.
and that card too that kind of proves exactly what it is. And then, of course, they can check on NGC or any one of the sites and see exactly. They can verify it there as well. There's a barcode that can be verified. So yeah, it's
Yes.
yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, that was awesome. Thank you guys so much for being on our call. And we'll put some information on the bottom in our description somewhere. You'll see some information and some links if you're interested. But thank you guys for being on the call. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Hope we'll see you again. We'll have you back on this call.
Until next time.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good one. All right, you guys take care, and we will see you next time.
Okay.